welcome to Shay and Jordan Go Boating. I'm Shay. No, I'm Jordan. You're
And
Shay.
I'm Jordan. Outs.
Shay shit in her pants. Is that a good? That's a good riff on your last name. Wow, I've never seen you look this despondent in a long time.
It's just
Shay
I'm unimpressed. I'm
Shay
unimpressed.
Satterley. Shay Satterley.
Shay Satterley.
Shay Satterley. Shay sat on her balls.
That's a little
Oh
more
wow.
original, I'll give you that.
Okay, cool. That's a good one. And this is the movie mapping podcast, where we link movies. We're building the web of film,
Where
and discussing.
our tagline is let's get Lincoln.
Let's get Lincoln.
mm-hmm.
That is our tagline as of right this minute. So let's get Lincoln. I mean,
Let's get Lincoln, y'all.
today's episode, I want to start with two stories. Is that a lot to start with two stories that are completely unrelated to film? Oh, one of them's related. I'll start with that one.
Maybe
So,
spread them out though. Like I think
okay,
it's
yeah,
like yeah.
I'll spread them.
Okay.
So what you were just talking about being an evolved family, and actually our film today that we
I
are
was
going to
gonna
talk about.
say, should we reserve this for 35 shots of rum or no?
Yeah, we should actually. Um,
What about the other story? Do that one first.
okay, well the other story is completely not film related, so maybe let's
That's
set up
fine.
the
We usually
podcast.
start. Okay, okay.
Okay, so today, as is our new structure, as I'm sure you all enjoyed last week with Rotting in the Sun / Simon Killer, we'll
Mm-hmm.
be talking about a new release before we go on to our movie linking madness that we've all come to know and love. So the new release we're talking about today is Passages,
Passage.
Ira Sachs's movie,
Yeah.
which has just hit the stream waves, if you will, on Mubi, I believe.
It's on
Um,
Mubi, one of the movies they've heavily marketed to me, as with
Specifically to
our
Shay.
last week's new release. Yeah, I'm like, is
Yes.
everyone else experiencing like I'm so sick of these movies because it's been advertised to me so much.
You know what? It's not going to be long before Mubi starts sponsoring our podcast if we're covering
I
Mubi movies every
I
week.
think I feel I my new goal, I'm cutting this out maybe, but like or maybe not. Maybe someone listens and they okay, should I not say this? Should I let you finish your whole thing?
No, say it now.
I can cut it out. But like there's like a letterbox podcast, there's like stuff like that. I
Yeah.
hope that one of those places take us under their wing, like Movie or
Yeah.
whatever,
We
or
could be a
Neon or
branch of
something. I don't know.
movie or some shit. Yeah.
Okay, done.
And as well as the new release, we'll be talking about the link in our movie chain. Obviously, last week we talked about Simon Killer, which stars Matty
Matty
Diop,
Diop, who
and this
also
week, yeah, she's
she
an act. She acted in the Claire Denis movie 35 Shots of Rum.
yes.
That's Shay's review of the movie. Um,
Yes.
so that's the general sort of outline for today's lesson, everyone. So if you could all
Mm-hmm.
get out your books and your pens
Get out your syllabi.
and put your phones on silent, please.
Yep.
Even if
Put
you're
your
listening on
boners
your phone,
away.
put your boners away. Save that for recess. Am
Get
I
your
right?
pens out.
Get your
Your
pens out.
boner. I don't know.
Jesus. Um, so I'm coming home from the shop the other day, Shay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with Issa
What
and
shop?
Sainsbury's.
My
You
favorite
familiar?
British, yeah, my favorite English
Supermarché.
grocery store because their vintage. I've told you this like 6 times, but I haven't told the audience this. Their like old graphic design is so gorgeous. It's like the best graphic design out there in the whole world. So love you, Sainsbury, for that. And that's it.
I'm very excited for Sainsbury's to be the second sponsor after movie. That would be an
Mm-hmm.
interesting collab that I think everyone's sort of wanting.
Sainsbury
Um,
X movie.
exactly. So I'm coming home from Sainsbury's Issa, and you know what? This building that I live in, it's like got like 5 different entrances for each part of the building. So I'm on one end. There's doors to each part of the building. It's like the building's all linked. It's one big building with lots of houses in. It's like an apartment complex of
Mm-hmm.
sorts, and there's
I
a
didn't know it
shared
had
garden in
five.
the back.
I didn't know it had
Five
five
different
different
entrances, yeah. So
entrances.
I'm on one end. So me and Issa are walking down the road, and we see this youngish couple, 30-something couple,
Mm-hmm.
standing outside the front, and we figure well, one of them's on the phone and the other one is like looking at his phone.
Uh-huh.
And me and Issa are like, oh, maybe they're moving in and they're, I don't know, just sort of lingering there. But we could tell that they wanted to go into our building, or it looked like they did.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, maybe they're waiting for someone, or they want to get into the building, but don't, someone's not answering their door or something.
Yeah.
So we approach, and as we get to the front door, I see the lady on the phone is sort of like gesturing to what turns out to be her partner, being like, go and talk to them. So
Mm.
this guy approaches me and Issa as we're about to go into the house, and I'm starting to look behind my shoulder as if like someone's going to come in during mid story.
That would be
So
exciting.
it would be terrifying. I have to keep my voice down. There's thin walls in this building. Um, so he comes up to us and he goes, "Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you? Do you know this guy?" And he gets up his phone and he shows us a picture of a man walking into the front of our building, and we know this man. He's one of our neighbors, right? I won't
But
say
the
his name.
picture was of him walking into the building?
Yeah, so it was kind of strange. Like it looked like they'd
Like
just
a
taken it like
weird,
a minute
like
ago.
candid. Okay.
Yeah, like um, and
Weird.
immediately, without even thinking, I went, "Yeah, that's Paul. Let's call him Paul
Mm-hmm.
McCartney." I was like, "Yeah, that's Paul McCartney." Um, and
Did you full name him or you just said his first name?
I said his first name. I called him Paul or
Mm-hmm.
Pal. I don't know. So I called him Paul, and he was like, "Huh, is he a normal guy?" And me and Issa look at each other like, "This is a strange question to ask." I was like, "Yeah, he's a normal guy.
Is he a
He's
normal guy? Oh my
yeah."
God.
And he was like, "Well, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but me and my girlfriend we're in 172 on the other end of the building,
Yeah.
and we're on the ground floor, and we heard this noise coming from outside, and we looked outside, and he was just there taking a shit, just on the ground out there, just taking a shit,
What?
and we were like, "What the fuck?"
He lives in your building?
Yeah, and
Why would he not just shit in his own apartment?
I don't know. For all intents and purposes, he's a normal guy, but I don't know. There must be
That is
something wrong with the fella.
crazy.
And then he scrolls and shows us the second picture, which is of the shit on the floor. Uh,
There should have been a trigger warning for that.
I know, right? And then he starts asking which apartment he's in, and I was like, I quite like this neighbor. I don't know why he's doing this, so I'm not gonna rat
Well,
him out.
yeah. I mean, it is weird that he would shit, but it's kind of like it's not the worst thing you could be doing.
Guess who they call?
The police
They're on the phone to the police, apparently. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing that for? So we just pretended we didn't know which part of the building he lived in.
feels very privileged.
I
Like,
know. The police will come and solve it.
I thought you were, because I was just considering the movie we're talking about. I thought you were going to say they sort of propositioned you guys sexually.
Oh, interesting. It's interesting to think about where it's going to go.
It
Um,
was very exciting.
Yeah, but then they disappeared, and then he was acting normal. He was coming up and down into the basement, just living his life normally, going into the garden and stuff. So I don't even know.
There's
I
so
had
many
this feeling
places
that it
he
wasn't
could
even
have
him.
shit, though. Like, she was shitting directly out their window.
Yeah,
That is
maybe I'll
weird.
ask him one day.
Yeah. Or just kind of
Anyway,
casually be like, hey, man, just between you and me, you ever shit somewhere weird? Where's the weirdest place you
just
pooped?
between you and me, buddy. Just
Yeah.
between you and me.
Two bros.
Incredible. So that's my
Okay.
story time. Yeah,
Great. Well, I'm excited for the one later because I also have sort of some talking points on that topic that you were mentioning.
on shitting.
No, on family and
Oh, the
sexuality.
other topic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so Shay Dog
Yeah, Jord Dog
passages.
Passages, directed by Ira Sachs.
Ira Sachs. Another one in the bag. Another one in Ira Sack.
Mm,
He's
his big sack of films.
he's been around for quite a long time, but I feel like his movies started to get better distribution worldwide in the past
Yeah,
like 7 or 8 years, I guess.
everyone knows the
Um,
movie Love is Strange.
Love is Strange. That was like 9 years ago now or something. That was
Mm-hmm.
probably the one that I think very much solidified his him as a name that people start to
Yeah,
know,
that put
and
him on the whatever you say, put him on the
on
map.
on the cultural map, on the indie darling cultural map.
Hey, the
Um,
moment you get John Lithgow in there, you're on the map.
Absolutely, and Alfred Molina.
and
My
Alfred
God,
Molina.
I like Love Is Strange. You like that movie?
I did. I don't really remember it. I mean,
Neither do
it's
I.
been a
I think it's a bit.
while.
I think it's probably a bit of a middling movie. You know, like it's probably okay. If it's not sticking in either of our minds, I think there's a reason for that. But I do adore his movie Little Men. Have you seen that one?
No, but someone who listened to our podcast last week was really sad that we didn't go through Jennifer L. and watch Little Men
Oh,
this week.
interesting. Maybe we'll end up there at some point because I fucking loved that movie when I
He
saw it in
said
the
it was
cinema.
really good, so maybe I don't know, or I should watch it. But yeah,
It moved me deeply.
okay.
Um,
So shout out to
just
that.
shout out to that, and that's
You
why ever since
know,
that movie, I've been quite excited for the new Sachs releases. Um, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that talking to you made me feel better. I feel comforted.
Oh, that's nice. Hanging out with a pal. That's what it's all
Hanging out with
about.
my good buddy. Um, yeah, and then my mom
So
and I are
yeah.
gonna go get pedicures later.
Wow, what a day.
It's a good day.
What a day for Shea.
Oh, and
Um,
also, I turned in some client work and I've been anxious about it all weekend. Like, fuck, are they gonna like it? And they really liked it. So I'm really
that's
happy about
great
that.
news.
Anyways,
I heard you're doing maybe a collab with you can cut this if you want with Issa or something.
yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. I'm kind of waiting on her to send me some
Yeah, I
inspo. We
think
haven't
they're
really talked
still
about it in a bit,
figuring
but
things out.
yeah, I'm very excited. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, just hit Shay up if you need any work. I've been asked to direct a music video I'm quite excited about for a
Wait,
friend of mine.
really? That's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah.
For who?
I don't want to say just in case they pull out.
Okay, I
But
understand.
a pal of mine has this band and they're great. And I'm very excited about the idea of doing a music video for them.
That's how a lot of directors got started.
Yeah, it's true. David Fincher.
Spike
He's got
Jones,
yeah, Spike Lee, probably.
Spike Lee,
Oh, did
maybe.
he do adverts? Anyway,
I saw a funny clip
so
with Spike Lee
uh,
where he was like, someone was like, do you not really like Green Book, or is there a reason why you don't like Green Book? And he goes to the interviewers, he's like, are you English? And the guy's like, yeah. And the other guy, he's like, are you English? To the other guy, and he's like, yeah. And he goes, let's just say it's not my cup of tea. And then he like bursts out laughing and
oh
like does a
yeah,
spin. It's really cute.
that's
Um,
pretty cute.
it's kind of cute. My parents love Spike Lee because they're into sports and he's into sports. So I don't know.
Right, of course. I mean, He Got Game is his best movie, probably.
And we were talking about how we hate sports. I don't know. Maybe there's a good argument for it, but anyways, I
Sports is
someone
stupid. I hate that I like sports. I'm really into the footy this season.
I was listening to this guy talking about how like sports should be held as great of an art as other art. So I don't know. Maybe
That guy
it
should shut the fuck up.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So fuck that guy. So following on from Little Men, he made this dog shit movie called Frankie. Did you see that?
No, I have only seen Love is Strange.
Oh, okay. So Frankie was him doing this like his Euro movie, and it's cringe and shit. It's got so many great actors in, and it's
Isn't
an
Passages
absolute.
him doing his Euro movie?
This is him doing his Euro movie successfully. I would argue. This is
Oh,
his like I'm making it in like Europeans on holiday. Like I'm doing a Roma thing, but
yeah.
not interesting. And yeah, that was awful movie. So I was a little trepidatious about Passages, but then I saw the trailer and was like, oh, actually, this looks more in line with Little Men in terms of his stylistic. Like it feels like more in that camp, you know. So Passages, yeah,
I feel like
as
I'm gonna
much.
edit out everything I've uttered on this podcast so far. But
No, you say that every week, and I notice that you do very little editing in the end. You're very
I
happy in the end
usually
with
end
what
up
you said.
listening back and being like, that was kind of fun.
Yeah. So Passages I saw ages ago because it came out here like beginning of September. But you watched it what a mere couple days ago or something?
I watched it yesterday.
Yesterday. Fresh as fuck in your mind. Um, How
It
did you
is
think? How
really
did you
fresh as fuck.
did you like it?
I really liked it. By the way, first of all, we need to stop watching movies that are set in Paris. I'm sick of looking
Oh
at
God,
Paris.
yeah, yeah, fair enough.
And second of all, I feel like every movie we've been watching like relates to my life in such a deep way. Not that I literally went through this, but like it's like about a long relationship ending and it's in Paris and it was making me cry a lot. I don't know why. I just felt emotional, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I was pretty blown away by it. I've seen some critiques of it that I just like because normally movies that are getting good reviews from people and from the major outlets and stuff. Obviously, I tend to be more scrutinizing over. It's really
Because
interesting when one of them
because
works for
you're a
me.
hater.
Yeah, exactly. But then one of them works for me, like Passages, for example, and I see someone critiquing it, and I'm like, oh, weird, you're wrong. um,
Wait, you know what? Actually, it's we don't call you a hater, we call you a grumpy old man.
yeah, I'm a gom.
Yeah, you're a gom.
Um, but yeah, because I remember someone like trying to like lay into the script, which I don't think was bad. Like I thought it was actually quite a good script, and I think all the actors are really fucking great. Franz Rogowski is incredible. He's great as well
He's
as an actor.
so good.
It's
He's
so hard
just
to lead
so
a
interesting.
movie where you're playing an absolute piece of shit and like
Fucking
remain
asshole.
watchable.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. He's still you kind of get why people keep crawling back to his ass.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's got his
It's
charm to him.
yeah, the very first scene really just lays out
I love
like
that
what a
first
bad
scene.
guy he is,
Yeah, yeah, so perfectly. Um, but
which is
yeah, I
cool.
think
It's
it all builds so well that tension and sort of like realizing more and more how terrible he is as the film goes along.
we should
It's
say
a
what it's about.
Yes, absolutely. So Passages, you go ahead. Actually, you saw it more recently.
Passages is about couple, a gay couple, comprised of Franz Rogowski and Ben Whishaw, and Franz plays a narcissistic asshole of a director, and his husband Ben Whishaw is a graphic designer like me,
Oh yeah.
and it's another similarity, and basically they have had like there've been extramarital affairs, I guess, in the past, and they're kind
Hmm.
of open about it. But Franz, what's his character's name?
Can't remember. Dickhead.
Dickhead Franz Rogowski. He one night like sleeps with a woman, and then like immediately the next day tells his husband, and he's like, "What does he say? I had sex with a woman. Can I tell you about it, please?" And it
Mm.
kind of causes some issues between them.
The woman is played
And
by Adele Exarchopoulos, by the way, of Blue is the Warmest Color fame.
we love her. I feel like I'm doing a bad job explaining this, but
No, you're doing a great job.
I feel basically throughout the movie, he can't really commit to either relationship and is a bad communicator and a selfish asshole overall.
He's constantly striving to have everything, and maybe this is a
Mm-hmm.
slight spoiler, or maybe I'll say if you haven't watched the movie yet, skip 15 seconds. But there's this scene which I think is like such a beautiful culmination in the movie where they're at that party at the house, like I don't know, it's supposed to be Christmas or something, but like
Yeah.
there's this moment of Franz's character. Uh, the first time you see him sort of actually laughing and enjoying life, but it's because he's got everything he wants in that moment, like he's manufactured his life in such a way that like he's got the woman, he's got his Ben Whishaw back, and he's just like finally happy, but then it all starts to fall apart again because he fucking deserves it. But it's just that one moment in the film where you actually see him like laugh and have some sort of like human emotion that feels like natural and not forced and not like he's like trying to cheat people out or something. Just
Yeah.
really blew me away.
It's interesting because I think he could have had it all. And I feel like this is true kind of both movies. Like there's so much like not communicating. Like if he had just communicated more openly and like not been a fucking weirdo, he could have had it all,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
not been such a selfish beehole.
Mm-hmm. B-hole, I like that. It's better than a-hole.
um, what else do I want to say about this movie? Um, he it was direct or inspired by a lot of European directors like Pasolini, Ackerman.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in the staging and stuff. Like he does have a
Yeah.
very unique way of staging things that I remember one sequence in the first half, like, you know, where you can't see either of their faces, where they're having a conversation and he's like the back of his head is blocking the front of France's face,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's all shot in this like red, kind of like the light behind you. And then it cuts to the morning and it's like this blue and it's just like
Mm,
really neat, kind of subtle ways of just like expressing things through mise en scène and blocking. It's
yeah.
a very simple thing on the surface, but when you think about it, it's actually really hard to convey those things in a unique and interesting way. Especially
Very
now,
artistic.
film is like 100 and whatever years old.
Yeah. Another movie that uses sex scenes really well to like say things about
Mm.
the characters. Like
Mm-hmm.
when it's like what is it, Thomas and Martin? Is that their name? Thomas? When they're
Let's
having sex, the couple, the husbands, like there's like a familiar rhythm. But then
yeah.
with like Adele, it's like clunky, but like passionate in a different way, which is really cool. Um, I also love,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say the one thing I didn't like.
Go
Oh, you want
ahead.
me to say it? Well, I just didn't like that bit where Adele Xylophobos was singing that song.
Oh, I really liked that part.
You like that bit? Fair enough.
Yeah. Why did you not like it?
I know it cringed me out. Whatever.
I
That's a
feel
me
like
problem.
that's the point though. It's like the really intimate, vulnerable moment for both of them,
Yeah,
especially
you're
her.
probably right. You're probably right. I retract my comment.
No, you can have that. You can have an opinion. That's
No,
it.
no, I know I can have an opinion, but like when I don't feel this strongly about an opinion, I'm very happy to retract it.
Sure. That was one thing I was going to bring up too. So I'm glad you brought it up. What
Big sigh.
else? Big sigh.
What else?
Franz Rogowski is I mean, I think we have to say his outfits are really incredible and he's very sexy and cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But he's also not cool or sexy as the film goes on, obviously.
Right,
I
when
mean,
he's a
as an
terrible
actor, sure. As
person.
an actor, he's great.
I love
Um,
when movies have like, rather than like a entirely different costume every scene, like he has a coat that he wears all the time and like he rewears
yeah,
his little like crop top. Yeah, it's
just like
very
we do in real
real.
life.
Real as hell.
That's so true. I wear this hat sometimes,
I
twice
don't I
in a
don't think
week.
I've ever seen you wear that hat.
Yeah, it's actually reasonably new. My dad gave it to me because
Did you say
I said I
reasonably
wanted it.
new?
I don't think I said reasonably new, no. And if I
Okay.
did, it was a slip of the tongue.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, passages. It gets a how many thumbs up from you there, Shay?
5 thumbs up.
5 thumbs up. Yeah, yeah, really, really good. It'd been a while since I'd seen, and I saw it quite. I think pretty much back to back with A Fire, the new Petzold movie,
I need to watch that.
which I adored as well. And thematically, it's very similar. It's about like uh narcissistic men essentially, which is one of my
Yeah.
most favored explorations. It's, I mean, kind of like we were talking about last week with Simon Killer. I think it's so interesting when
I
people
feel like
really
men love to
deftly
see
deal with
men
that.
like get bashed for that.
Yeah,
Or certain men.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, yeah. Because who
Yeah,
doesn't love to be kind of torn apart themselves?
absolutely. But it's also just like it's such a balancing act, like making a film about someone who is utterly unlikable and still has you captivated the whole time.
Yeah. That was
It's a
just
real
like me
art.
watching the movie Ma.
Oh, is that going to be your recommendation for the week at the end of the podcast?
I did really enjoy Ma, I have to say. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, we could talk about that later. I've seen that too.
Have you seen it? Yeah, okay. One last thing I wanted to say is Adele plays a school teacher, and it's almost like she's the same character from Blue is the Warmest Color.
Yes, very true. That was 10 years ago now. How crazy is that?
I know, dude. I was obsessed with that movie. I was 16 years old and I was watching all the interviews.
Well, speaking of 10 years ago, 10 years ago was the first time I saw 35 Shots of Rum, I find out
I
yesterday.
know, I saw that, and that is our link.
Our link today from Simon Killer is Matty Diop, who, as we've already mentioned in the last episode, is the director in her own right with Atlantics and a few shorts. And this was her first movie she acted in. Claire Denis, 35 Shots of Rum.
Rum.
Rums.
Rum.
35 rums. What's 35 in French? They got weird numbers over there, haven't they?
Yeah, their numbers involve too much adding. I never
Yeah,
bothered with
yeah,
that.
yeah. Never bothered with that.
Never bothered with a lot in terms of French.
So 35 Shots of Rum. Yeah, I mean it's sort of mid-career Claire Denis movie at this point.
It's really known as her mid-career film.
Yeah, everyone's calling it her mid-career movie. Yeah. So, which is kind of
But
rude
it's
because it's
far
assuming
from
she'll
mid.
stop.
Am
It's
I
far
right?
from that, absolutely. One of my favorite films of hers, or upon rewatch now, I've realized that it was always one I've held as a really great movie of hers, but yesterday it really hit me on another level. Do you want
Yeah.
to meet? It's one of those ones where saying the plot isn't really that helpful, but I will try and give a general outline. It's about a father and a daughter, a French father and daughter. The father played by Alex Descartes,
We love
and
him.
we love him. Claire Denis regular.
He was
Uh,
in Irma Vep,
yes, he's also
Coffee
in
and
Irma Vep.
Cigarettes,
Coffee and Cigarettes. Yeah, yeah.
Limits of Control, Trouble Every Day, Lynette and Bonnie, Bastards.
He's all over it. He's all over it.
One of the
Uh,
greats.
one of the greats, and loosely sort of inspired by Ozu movies, specifically Late
Late
Spring.
Spring.
It's
Jinx.
about the relationship between this father and daughter, and they're sort of like a working class father and daughter. He's a train driver. She works at Virgin Megastores.
I know. The everything goes back to Virgin with us.
I know, it's crazy. Oh, I should have worn my Virgin hair. It would have been so appropriate. I guess I
Yeah.
could change it mid-ep.
Don't.
I won't.
Do not.
Don't you fucking dare. But she's also a university student, and they have a neighbor. I can't remember the actor's name, but she's called
The
Gabrielle, the
guy. Oh,
character.
Nicole
Oh,
Doge.
Nicole Doge.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that
She
right.
has a sort of like motherly relationship with the daughter of the family, but also some
She
sort
kind
of
of yearns for
romance
the
with
dad.
yeah. And then there's their other neighbor played by Gregoire Collomb.
From
Noé, his character is called,
from
from
Beau
many a Claire
Travail.
Denis movie, Beau Travail most famously, and US Go Home.
And he's got
And
those eyes that are like all bugged out.
he's my biggest crush, Shay.
He kind of looks
He's
like he
maybe
got
my
bonked on the
biggest
head.
celebrity crush. He's like
Sorry.
a more attractive Adam Driver, you know?
I'm sorry, I can't. I don't think he's attractive myself.
You don't like Greg Poquelin? That's
No, he looks like
crazy.
he got bonked on the head.
So rude. Don't you find his presence sexy and everything? The way he
But
carries
I
himself?
really wish I could be on that level with you, but I'm not into it.
Wow. I've taken the horny reins for this episode.
Yeah. By the way, I've been wanting to like. I think we should have a crush of the week feature.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, my crush of the week is Gregoire Collomb.
Okay. Well, mine is Franz Rogowski.
Okay.
Forgot his name for a sec.
But yeah, so as with most Claire Denis movies, the narrative
Actually,
is
no,
quite...
mine is Alex Descartes. Sorry. Did I scream?
Yeah, and took me by surprise.
Okay, sorry.
Alex Descartes, yeah. You know, it's interesting. Claire Denis was sort of comparing him to Chishu Ryu, being like, I see him as a Chishu Ryu type. Obviously, he plays the father in the Ozu movies,
Yeah.
and he plays the father in this movie. Like, I see that, you know, they both hold this sort of like
Quiet
earnestness and quietness, and yeah, they just got this
strength.
quiet strength about them, but there's also softness too.
Yeah.
Um,
My mom
uh,
kept me I watched this with my mom, by the
oh,
way.
nice.
And she was like, it was such a good one to watch with her. She was like, he's very intense.
That's sweet.
And we both loved him. Anyways.
But yeah, with Claire Denis movies, they're often quite elliptical. I think it's the word people tend to go for, and kind of it takes a while to learn how to read them as you're watching them. I think even from film to film, because she doesn't really signpost that clearly people's relationships to one another. She doesn't really, you don't ever really expect to know what direction the narrative is going in. It takes a while to sort of even figure out what the narrative even is in this movie, I think.
It's like filled with these little human details where like I think if it's like you're watching a movie like a Christopher Nolan movie, this is a dramatic comparison, but like in those movies, like everything like has a meaning and adds up to like an answer. Whereas like these are
Yeah,
kind of just like these human details that do have meaning, but they don't necessarily aren't going to conclude in this huge climactic equation.
absolutely, absolutely. It's I'm always most fascinated by directors who can capture those sort of like minutiae of life and make them feel like they have so much like
Is that how
beauty
you
to them.
pronounce it? I
Minutiae, how
say
would you say it?
minutia.
Oh fuck. Whichever. Um
I've never heard that, but maybe you've never said it out
I've,
loud.
I've never
I
said it
don't.
out loud, you know.
Okay.
Anyway, cut that. um so I read this really interesting interview with her where she was saying how much she hates doing Q&As because they're fucking stupid,
They are,
and
yeah.
people ask stupid questions, and
Questions like, were you guys like a family on set?
um, but she was saying that she was doing it in America, in New York or something, and some American person said in American movies, when they film actors from behind, it often means that something's gonna happen to them. And she's like, oh, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, just because I'm following a character from behind doesn't mean they're gonna get like stabbed or something. Like, there's like a history of that in art. Like, it puts you in the perspective of a person, like before
But
cinema,
that's
like
exactly
seeing from
what's
behind them.
so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, just like that's exactly what is so annoying about American cinema, which I feel like we were talking about with Vox Lux, where it's like we've been taught there's like these beats that we're used to of like traditional structure and like how to read a movie that just like is like like Avengers movies, like we know what everything means and we're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
comfortable, we know how it's gonna end, and it's not actually making you think or like observe what you're watching, critically.
Mm-hmm. And it's nice to be able to read movies differently, like
Yeah.
this.
35 shots of rum.
By Claire Denis.
uh,
Claire Denis, I seen her in a Q&A once for the movie Bastards, which was about 10 years ago as well. And she is such a little woman.
like a
She's
small
Yeah,
size.
she's just so small. She's like a little like this. She's like this, she's like tiny.
She's this small, literally.
Yeah, I mean, I walked past her and she was on a stage that was at least like, a foot up in the air, and she was still smaller than me. I was like, this woman's tiny.
I'm jealous that you saw her in real life.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to her, but I was too afraid.
Yeah.
Especially
That
because
is
people in the Q&A did ask her questions that she was like, what?
that's so
No.
cool.
Or like, that's stupid. Next.
I love
Um,
that. The movie is a lot about like the passage of time and like being able to let go of the past.
mhm.
Which is like basically the father and daughter are really attached to each other in a way of being, like, which is cool. Like they show, like, I love that the movie focuses on like routine, like the dad taking his shoes off
Yeah,
and
that's also a very
making
like
rice.
Ozu-esque thing.
Yeah. And kind of these little, just like the presence of one another, like making them smile. And
Mhm.
yeah, and just how it's difficult to move on and accept that life moves on. Just like me right now, because I'm gonna move away from my mommy and go back to Portland in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it made you think about your mummy. in your relationship to your mummy.
Yeah. And just attachment.
Hmm. And also like direction in life. It made me think about that a lot as well. I mean, there's obviously the visual metaphors of the train tracks and all these things, but
Mm,
there's this subplot with Renee, the one of the guys he works with, who is retiring, and it's a very he's just at a loss once he's retired to like know what life is without work,
right.
which
That
is an
gave him
interesting thing.
purpose and
Yeah.
meaning.
Hmm.
And yeah. And then like at the same time, Joe, the daughter, is like
Hmm.
being propositioned by this like family friend guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. No way, no.
No way, I think. Yeah.
No way. And like their connection would mean her no longer being with the dad and
Yeah.
out of this like way of living that's been so comfortable for both of them and yet kind of restrictive or what's the word like from the world isolated,
Yeah. 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 Isolated. Yeah.
but they have such
Um.
a beautiful connection too,
Hmm.
like they're so
They really do.
intimate
It's
and
very
like they
tender.
they like touch each other and like look in each other's eyes. It's so
Hmm.
sweet, which I would feel very uncomfortable doing with my parents, but it's still
Yeah,
very
it's a
sweet.
different cultural thing. It's also interesting, obviously, Claire Denis, she is a white woman. She grew up in Africa, though, for most of her childhood. And uh,
Hmm.
her early films tend to focus on post colonial identities and things like this. Obviously,
Yeah.
Chocolat being the first one, it's sort of based on her childhood experiences, moving it up through to Beau Travail, which is a very direct thing about post colonial life with
Hmm.
legionnaires in Djibouti. Um, and this is one where it's set in the Paris suburbs, and it's a lower income family, and they are black, and she's talked about it in interviews as well, being like, I'm not trying to make a film about black people kind of thing. Like, I am making a
Yeah.
film. Alex Descartes is my muse. I want to use him, so it makes sense to make this film about that. But naturally, when you're making that kind of film about that kind of person, and she had this fascination with train drivers and stuff, it also becomes socio-political because it's about even the place that where they live is a specific type of housing, that's
Hmm.
like council housing equivalent kind of thing. I don't know what you would have. Do you have that kind of thing in the US?
Like subsidized housing.
Sure, yeah, that kind of thing. um so yeah, I mean, she is very much like a political filmmaker, but not a pedagogical one.
No, I think it's just like everything in the movie where it's like these are ideas presented, but not with an agenda kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
just like,
absolutely. Well, that's kind of her whole shtick as a filmmaker. Famously, in a Q&A, do you know this one? I might have even said this to you before. Someone asked her about the representation of there's not any strong women in this film. I can't remember what it was supposed to be. And she was like, I'm not a fucking social worker. Like, I'm not making movies to like show you what a strong woman should be. Like, there are strong women in some of my films, but there are weak women and there are weak men in some of my films. It's not a guide on how to live your life. It's a piece of art. She's making her art for herself, and she always has and always will. um
that's what's
so
like
I
so
really
weird to
admire
me
that.
when people like go so hard for movies like Wonder Woman or even Barbie. It's like they're like propaganda or something. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not that I don't want women to be empowered, but I don't need a movie to shove it in my face, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what is interesting is the complexities of human beings, and filmmakers aren't there
Women are
to
flawed
be.
too or weak too,
Yeah,
like I don't know. They're everything.
exactly. And Claire Denis clearly understands that, and the female characters and her male characters are equally complex, and she'll deal with very intense themes, and they're facts of life, and they are real things that happen, and it's not sugar coated. And I think she's a very brave filmmaker in that sense. She doesn't let what audience perceptions would be get in the way, of her
She's gotten to
art.
make a lot of movies.
Absolutely. And
So next
she's
time you're feeling discouraged about needing to sell out to make movies, think of Claire Denis.
yeah, absolutely. But I feel like she came at a time where you could do that. I feel like it's almost impossible not to do it without selling out these days, but maybe that's a topic for another podcast.
Yeah. I don't know.
But Claire Denis, she just is one of my absolute favorite filmmakers. Of one of the big names of European cinema, I think she's one of the ones who deserves all the acclaim that she gets. She's
She's so amazing.
such a like a careful curator of her images as well, and
Mm,
it's always just so. Her films are always so beautifully put together, and like I was saying earlier, how they're perceived as sort of elliptical.
yeah.
She has this really like smooth and intentional way of building up a narrative, and without it being forced down your throat as to what to feel and what to think at each moment and the
Yeah.
direction you think it's going to go in. I mean, even the end of I'm not going to give any spoilers, but even the end of 35 Shots of Rum, it's all very vague, exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I
She just
mean,
like captures like such beauty and sadness and just like this feeling of truth about life that is so hard to capture in other movies, you know?
absolutely. I mean, even in her like big budget weird movie like High Life, I
Yeah.
think that because of the way that's marketed and being obviously with a lead American star like Robert Pattinson,
Yeah.
I think it got kind of unfairly sort of maligned at the time because I think a lot of people didn't really understand how to read the movie.
Yeah.
Uh, and uh, again, deals with some dark ideas and things that I think would put a lot of people off, especially our Pats fans,
Mm.
But even in that, she's dealing with the minutia of life and even within this sort of like grand sci-fi narrative, but kind of in the way that like Tarkovsky does as well. Obviously
Yeah.
Solaris would be the line to draw from Solaris to High Life is quite clear,
Yeah.
and there's these scenes that take place on Earth in High Life. Do you remember this? There's like a scene on a train that feels like straight
Mm-hmm.
out of a Tarkovsky movie. I just remember it being like really mind blowing. I'd really like to watch that film again. I saw it in the cinema
Yeah.
when it
I
came out, but
haven't
not
seen
since.
it since it first came out.
She is one of those filmmakers whose films actually do really like help with repeat viewing. Like
Yeah.
even thinking about Friday night, Vendredi soir, since watching 35 Shots of Rum last night, I was like, oh no, maybe that's her best movie. Maybe if I watch that now, it will like blow my mind
Oh
even
yeah,
more than
there's
it did the
something you
first
wanted
time.
I wanted to say to you because you were mentioning like, oh, you saw it 10 years ago and you didn't appreciate it the same.
Yes.
Like I think about, you and I got into movies when we were like 15 or 16, right?
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
like it's just funny because like I was so not I wasn't stupid, but just like I have gone through so much more life now. It's like how much more would I appreciate it? All those movies I started out with now. And sometimes I wish I could see them for the first time now, but maybe repeat viewing will be great.
I think repeat viewing stands for those ones that will stand the test of time. With the Denise and the Brevettes and the stuff that me and you got into when we were teenagers. Like rewatching those now,
Yeah.
you you know who you are somewhat in essence as a 16-year-old, but you have no idea really until you're in your mid to late 20s. I don't think who you really are. So there's the kernels of stuff in these films that are the reason they get you into films and the things that
Yeah.
inspire you. But then 10 years on, for 35 Shots of Rum, for me, I'm now married and I have so much more life experience than last time I saw the film, and it means so many more things to me than it used to. Whereas I think what I used to appreciate it was just the details and the the structure and things like that. But now it's the thematics are really getting through to me because I am an
You have
adult
like
now.
yeah, you've had the lived experience. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of movies, Good movies can sort of like evolve over time, you know. And this is one
Yeah.
of those things that made me, yeah, has made me, because I'm not much of a rewatch for films either. It's one of those things that made me go, oh, there's probably a bunch of films that I think if I rewatch, I will really be able to appreciate now.
Yeah.
Um,
Because it's like I have people I know now who will be like, oh, I'm just starting to get into film and I watched this or that. And I'm like, wow, they're probably even understanding it at a different level than me, because I didn't see those when I was at this age.
yeah, absolutely,
This is interesting.
absolutely. Wow,
I love
isn't it?
movie.
I love movie too. And hey, we're all fallible here, you know. I mispronounced minutia. Did
I
you do
was
anything
probably
stupid?
annoying the first bit of this episode.
So, we've all got our problems.
Yeah, man.
You were not annoying, Shay.
No, thank you. I don't know. I don't know.
Is that a new
Oh,
necklace?
it is a new necklace.
It's lovely.
Isn't it cool? Because it looks sort
It's
of like
great.
pearls, but it's silver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I dig it. I dig it.
Thank you.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know whether this is a good place to start with Claire Denis if you're unfamiliar with Claire Denis. I think the
I
most
think it
obvious,
is.
yeah, I think the most obvious thing people tend to point to is Beau Travail, but maybe
Honestly, if
experiencing
I
it.
was gonna tell someone to watch one, I would say Nanette and Bonnie. I don't know why. I just feel like
Really,
that
that's
one's really, I
interesting.
feel like it's so watchable.
Again, that's another one that I saw when I was maybe like 9 years ago or something, and I liked it, but it probably would do a lot more for me now than it did then.
I really like it.
Um,
And it has an English speaker in there for you, Vincent Gallo, to keep you supported. I don't know.
that's very true. That's very true. I mean, maybe you should rewatch Trouble Every Day, and I rewatch Nanette and Bonnie because you don't like Trouble Every Day that much, right?
Yeah, I don't. But I'm kind of outnumbered in terms of
Yeah,
people I respect and their opinions of that,
yeah. So we win and you lose.
truly.
Um, just shout out to all of the actors in this movie as well. And there's a great cameo of sorts by Ingrid Carven towards the end of the movie there,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who Fassbinder was married to and worked with lots
True.
back in the 70s. And I think her scene in the movie is really really amazing, and I think maybe holds a lot of the answers to what the movie's trying to express and stuff.
Mm.
It really moved me when I saw it. I'd like to watch it again. Again, this movie, I'd want to watch it again right now.
Thing of
It's
beauty.
it's a thing of beauty, and it's very inspiring. As someone who wants to make films, to see someone do it like this, it makes you take a step back and go, "Huh, it's not as easy as it looks."
Do
And
you
she
think
makes
this
it
is
look so damn easy.
the kind of movie you want to make?
Mm, not quite, but it does have a lot of stuff in it that I would like. I am always fascinated by familial relations and those kind of things, and things that are expressed in looks and not spoken. And
Yeah.
it's made me go, maybe I need to pare down the way I write things a bit more, because just like with anything, when you less is more, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, love you, Claire.
Love you, Claire.
Love you, Claire.
Five thumbs up from me.
Five thumbs up from me as well. And Matty Diop has her smile could end all wars.
It could melt 1,000 hearts
It can melt 1,000 hearts and end all wars. So
and end all wars.
I think what needs to happen is the world leaders just need to fax each other a picture of Matty Diop smiling, and world peace will come upon us.
But make sure you fax it
Make sure
because
you
you need
fax
to
it.
have like a physical.
Was it with
uh
you that we figured out that facsimile is the word facsimile is why it's called a fax machine?
If it was me, I don't remember.
Well, that's a little fact for you. It's called a fax machine because a facsimile, meaning a copy of something,
This Diet Coke is like
Caffeine
5 days.
free.
Well, it is caffeine free, but it's like 5 days old, so
How's it taste?
tastes horrible.
Great.
Yeah.
So do you have any final thoughts before we sort of go on to our movie linkage and then our segments, our ending segments.
Um,
Wow, what pauses to effect. I love it. That's maybe two of the biggest pauses you've ever done on this podcast.
uh, I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking because I feel like we've kind of said everything, but I think
Yeah,
the movie
absolutely.
was
But
was very beautiful and just
it is a
captured the beauty and the sadness of life and time passing.
absolutely. And time will
And
continue to pass.
sucks.
It's a
I
shame,
don't
isn't
want
it?
to die.
But I don't want to live either.
No, man. All right. Anyways.
Jesus.
Can we get out of
Anyways,
Paris,
we can
please?
get out of Paris.
For God's
Um,
sake.
let's go to our good friend, the internet, and get up a 35 shots of rum page of some sort and see all of the people involved in such film. Uh, uh, okay. I want to be able to see you while I do this, so I have to adjust my screen.
Why do you want to see me?
I just like to see you. It's like we're hanging out, you know?
Thanks, bud.
So I
Um,
Jesus Christ. I do have already an idea of where I want to go, but I wonder whether you feel the same way. Um,
okay.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, we could hit up another Denis, but I guess we've talked about Denis quite a bit already in terms of her
I
oeuvre.
don't. I don't think so.
You could go to Agnes Goddard, who's the DP on this movie. She's fantastic.
Okay,
Um,
that's a good
but
idea.
she's mostly done Denis movies. I mean, there's a handful of other ones. The Falling, which kind of stinks, not gonna lie. She did that Jaco Denon, you know, the Agnes Varda movie about Jack Demy.
Yeah. Um,
Home, the Ursula Meyer movie with Isabelle Huppert,
yeah.
which
Hold
I've
on.
definitely seen.
Um, I want to do Clouds of Sils Maria because one of the producers produced that.
I don't want to do that.
I know. I knew you'd say no.
Oh
I knew
yeah,
you.
Carl Baumgartner.
Are you wanting to go through Alex Sticka?
Nope, but we
Okay.
can look at him. I mean, he's got some good options. I mean, we could do Home of Ep, you know. I mean, I've only
I mean,
seen that
that's
once, but I do love it.
Paris again, but
Oh yeah, shit. You want to get out of Paris? That's fair enough. Um,
a little bit.
I was thinking, okay, I might as well just tell you what I was thinking. I was
Just
thinking
tell
of
me.
going through Ingrid Carven because that way we get out of France and
Oh, that's a good idea.
we get into
Oh,
another
you want to go
person
to a
I adore.
Fassbender?
I was thinking we could go to a Fassbinder.
I mean,
Obviously, he's been on the mind a lot recently, and he's
who's more prepared for that than you?
exactly. I feel like I'll actually like maybe be able to supply us with a good episode.
Oh my God, she's in one of the fucking Remembrance of Things Past movies that we have to watch.
Oh, really? Which one?
Time Regained,
Ah, of course.
the Raul Ruiz.
Raul Ruiz one. Oh, you know what? Guess what? Oh my god. Oh wait, I've got a dead foot. Oh,
Is that
oh
what
my
you
god.
British people call your foot being asleep? I've got a dead foot.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
picked up today in the charity shop.
Oh shit!
So Shay and I on our side podcast. No, I don't know. We can maybe do a bonus
We'll do it
episodes of
on
these.
this. Yeah.
We're gonna read the Proust books and uh, watch the movies that they have made of the few of the ones that they have made. So obviously this is Swan's Way, the first one.
So wait, are you
But
ready to start reading that or no?
no, I'm not. I still haven't finished Berlin and Alexanderplatz.
You
I've been going very slowly.
motherfucker!
You motherfucker! Give me another week or something maybe. I've been taking it so slowly. I'm really sorry. Do you have a copy then?
No, I've been waiting for you to get it or for you to tell me.
Okay.
Also,
We'll get
like
you a
I went to a
copy.
bookstore here in town and like they did not have it.
Did they have Twilight? I bet they did.
Yeah. They had
Um.
Marcus Aurelius. That's
Oh,
about it.
wow. Uh, meditations or some shit.
Meditations or some shit.
Um, I want to do In a Year with 13 Moons because I've never seen that one, and I know that she's one of the bigger players in that.
I've seen that one,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's fine.
I mean, if there's another one you want to go for, uh, we could do Why Does Her R Run Amok? I've never seen that one. It's got my boy Kurt Raab in it. Love that guy.
We can do it a year with 13 moons.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If you have decided, if you have come to a decision, and we're going to be going to Germany next week. How exciting is that?
Taking a look, you know, in this movie, they took a trip to Germany, or just like them.
Wow, we are just like them. They're just like us. Just
Yep.
like us.
Yep.
Oh wow, I'm already getting excited about where we're going to go after that. Can you believe this Fassbinder fella? What a hard worker. Anyway, um, we have some things to round off the episode with, don't we, Shea?
Oh yeah. I mean, our
Uh,
recommendations for the week?
our recommendations, and you wanted to say something about families or some shit.
No, I take it back.
No, yeah, I kind of take mine back as well. Story is not really relevant anymore. It was relevant at the time, but we move on.
Interesting.
We evolve.
We do. All right. So tell us your book recommendation of the week, Jordan.
My book recommendation of the week. I actually haven't decided yet. I'm gonna grab one right now.
Okay, well, I'll say my movie recommendation for the week. My movie recommendation is probably the movie The Addiction by Abel Ferrara. Have you seen that?
I have
I thought it was so fucking good.
that. Yeah, it's a great movie.
That was my brain exploding when I saw it. I like that it, used philosophy so much. It was about vampires. Edie Falco played an intellectual. Michael Imperioli was in it for 2 minutes. Um,
I
some
forgot
fun
about that.
90s rap. And oh, I think I finally got why people like Christopher Walken. I've always been kind of like,
Ah,
I mean, like, I think he's good, but I've always just been like, I'm like, he's doing the thing where he talks like that weird cadence. But
yeah.
in this, I was like, whoa, this motherfucker is magnetic.
This
Um,
motherfucker's magnetic.
shot in gorgeous black and white.
Yes, it is.
And the end, I guess I kind of am an Abel Ferrara stan, or I'm starting to be.
Good.
And I want to watch the new Rose Hotel
Oh
because you
yeah, I've been
recommended.
mentioning that one. Yeah. Um. Great.
The end.
Great.
Great.
The end.
The end.
Um. So my book recommendation for the week. I'm not happy with my choice. No, I am happy with
You
my
can
choice.
choose a different one. I can talk about something else.
But yeah, keep entertaining them.
My other recommendation for the week is this pin I got with a spider on it. It's really cute.
Ooh.
And my other recommendation is this pimple patch case. Pretty cute. Um, yeah. What
So
else?
Shay, I've been into my sci-fi a lot recently, as you may know,
Yeah.
and it's pretty an obvious choice. But I read John Wyndham's The Day of the Triffids recently, which I
Yeah.
think if you're ever a UK based kid as well, you probably come across this at school or something. It's like
What's the cover? Looks
a
crazy.
it is a pretty crazy cover. I think it's just like
Like a
microscope
Cronenbergy. Oh, okay.
a microscope image of a plant something or other, but it does look all very kind of
Looks like a dick.
kind of looks like a dick and kind of looks
And
like
a
a
vagina.
vagina. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, all at the same time. In fact, I had a friend over here the other day who was a little bit high, and
Who?
I couldn't say, I don't want to out them on the podcast, but they were terrified by this cover and they made me put it away. I tried to recommend it to them and they were like, I don't want to look at that right now. Put it
I
away.
understand that. Join
Yeah,
us on our
anything.
journey.
Join us on our
Listen
journey, listen
along
along,
and build the chain
and
with
build the
us.
chain with us. We have been Shea and Jordan upon our boat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See you next week.
We love you.
We love you.